Knives Knives, I'm Jared, and today we are talking about knives that you would think are much more expensive than they actually are. And we're starting it off with the real steel Griffin, the new affordable version, even more affordable than this one originally was because this one's discontinued. They now brought it back in a micarta versions, multiple different colors. Still in the same blade, still 14C28N, and this was using 14C28N before it was popular. Another thing was nobody was doing button locks when this came out. Like, this is one of the only button locks, and they did it well. And nobody was doing button locks, especially well, but almost nobody was even doing them, period. This actually has good lock geometry. And, you know, even after years of use, it's still solid. I had one originally that I loved and I used, but then I wound up selling it and then they discontinued it and I was so upset. You know, because sometimes you get rid of a knife. Like, if I ever want, I'll just get another one. And they discontinued it and they were gone. And then somebody gave me this one because they knew how upset I was. And this one's still rock solid. You know, I might be able to muscle a tiny, tiny hint out of it, but I could easily stretch the spring and get rid of it. And the fact that it's been through so much, it's incredible. And it has a secondary lock, by the way. But awesome, awesome knife. And, you know, like I said, this thing was very innovative in its time. And now I'm very happy to see them bring it back. Really good geometry, great hole deployment, great button lock action. And I'm pretty sure this uses needle bearings. It has a different type of smoothness than what you expect from a lot of button locks. Not positive if the new ones do, but this one definitely had, I believe, needle bearings. The next one is another real steel. This is the GFRAME. Now, the GFRAME is only $100 or right around $100, and it has a titanium frame lock. N690 steel. And one thing I love about it is just like how slim, sleek, and how light it is. This thing is the most easy knife to carry. The wire clip definitely helps with that too, and it is reversible. Super snappy action. Very well jimped flipper tab with a phenomenal detent. This thing has rapid deployment, and you know, it has easy closing, good access to the lock bar. Very light blade though, so it's not going to be false shut or anything because it is a super slicey, very lightweight blade. But again, like I said, it's a very lightweight EDC knife, which is what I love about it. The blade being the shape it is, it's very straightforward. Everybody knows it, and how slim and sleek it is. It's just so easy to carry. They have multiple different colors and versions of this. This has been a very popular model. Next is the Kubey Silo. Now, this is in 14C28N, which helps keep the price down, but it has a beautiful titanium frame lock with this gorgeous frag pattern, almost like a grenade texture to it. Very, very ergonomic. Incredible jimping, whether you're back here or up there or like this. Good access to that lock bar. Fully drop shut, like basically a guillotine. Amazing reverse flick, phenomenal detent for the thumb or the reverse flick. The front flipper, it's okay. It works, but it's not as desirable as I would like it to be, but the reverse flick's amazing. So that's the way I use it for the most part. Pinch grips are great. Slicing is going to be amazing, but the knife overall just looks like a much, much more expensive knife than what you're going to pay. You get this for right around 120 bucks. It's about 156 bucks, but when you use my 20% discount code, you're going to save yourself like $30+ on it, and that will bring the price down significantly. And for that price, you know, with the fit, the finish, the tolerances, you know, the ceramic caged bearings, all the good stuff that this thing comes with, it is just like most high-end knives. So in fact, this is better than some high-end knives. Next, actually, is another Kubey, the TITYUS, the TITYUS. So we have the Kubey TITYUS here, and it has a beautiful titanium frame lock once again with this green anodization. Now, green is a little bit of a difficult color for companies to not only get right, but consistent, just because, you know, to color, you know, match them and everything. It's very difficult with green, but they did a really good job. Very nice micro milling, extremely ergonomic. This one's in 14C28N again. That's how they keep this price down. And like I said, 20% discount code. So remember that every time when you're looking at the price. Good access to the lock bar. Stupid smooth. I think you can get this for like $100 with my discount. I think that's what it is, if it's still the same. Phenomenal flipper tab. Great jimping. Great detent, man. Just an absolute awesome knife. This, a lot of people call the budget Arius, because the Koenig Arius, it has some, you know, a little bit of style from that. I'm not saying they did that on purpose, but that's what it kind of looks like. And, you know, this is an incredible model. Like, it feels very high end. I mean, it is high end. It just, you know, the price isn't high end, which is really, really good. So awesome knife. Deep carry clips inset with flat screws, not reversible, but it is a titanium clip, and the hardware is even titanium. Now this is only $125 before the discount. With the discount, you're going to get it down to like, I don't know, $100 bucks, something like that. So you're going to have 14C28N once again with a drop point blade and another titanium frame lock with this beautiful light blue anodized clip backspacer and hardware. I like that color blue. It looks really nice. Has a nice almost not quite Tiffany blue, but a very nice blue. Very ergonomic, very straightforward. Amazing reverse flick and thumb flick. The front flipper is good. It has a strong detent, so if you like a strong detent, at least mine does. But straightforward knife, very simple, but that's also what I love about it. And the fact that it doesn't have a deep carry clip, I'm actually happy with, because this is a clip that feels really good in the hand, and it's very easy, nice and smooth on the pants, and it just, you know, it doesn't tear your pants up or anything like that. You can get up nice and tight to that edge, you know, if you needed to, but because of the handle shape, you know, it's going to be really good for everything else. In my opinion, it's an attractive knife. It looks a little bit futuristic while also holding, you know, a little bit of tradition to it as well. Next, actually, this is not the knife we're going to talk about. We're actually talking about the QSP version of this. This one is a titanium frame lock. I'm not sure the exact price of this exact one. This one here, just so you can see, by Quist Blade Works. Now this one is a titanium frame lock, obviously in 20 CV, but they have a 14C28N version with titanium scales and a steel liner for a very affordable price from QSP. And, you know, just looking at it, knowing it's titanium and everything, you would think it was more expensive than it actually is. It's very affordable, and this is a very fidget friendly knife. It comes in, I have a little tiny one, slip joint. So there is a lot of different versions of this guy. He has done them with, you know, different companies. Lock bar cutout on the inside, titanium milled titanium milled pocket clip, lots of milling on the inside of there, good access to that lock bar, stupid smooth. It has a super glassy feel to it that just feels so good. Now it does have a little bit of a sway back, as you can see. Now I'm not honestly a huge fan of that, but I noticed that in pinch grips it works really well. And, you know, if I need to slice or cut anything, you know, it's going to be just fine. So it's, you know, it doesn't really hinder you at all. It's more of like you put it in your hand and it feels a little awkward, but then once you start using it, you're like, oh, it doesn't bother you at all. Good geometry, and, you know, the titanium is nice and smooth. It does have a reversible titanium mill pocket clip with you know, with the little inlay right there, so, you know, you don't see it, which is also pretty cool. Nice little touch. And I like how the lock bar kind of does this S curve around. That's also really cool. Next is one I talk about quite often. This is the Sencut Arc Blast. The Sencut Arc Blast, in my opinion, is like the everyman's knife. This is a knife that I think, you know, you could spend under 50 bucks, like $40+, $45, something like that, and you're getting almost a premium knife. And in some regards, a premium knife. Like if this was made by Hogue, ProTech, anything like that, this would be a premium knife, absolutely, without a question. Solid aluminum scales, solid aluminum, no liners, just solid aluminum. Then we have a beautiful spear point, deep hollow grind. I mean, deep hollow. This is very, very thin, and it's in 9CR 18 MOV steel, which is basically like a souped up 440C. And it's a 4-finger knife, so you can get a full grip on it, but yet it is a compact knife. I think it's a 3-inch blade, and you can choke up if you need to. You know, I just use this as a little bit of a finger choil. The action is ridiculous, and man, Civivi, WE, and Sencut are the best in the business when it comes to button locks. They are just knocking it out of the park. This thing is rock solid. I've tested so many of these. I've even abused many of them, and they're still solid as can be. I have some that, you know, are getting weaker because of the way I beat on them, but the lock is still rock solid. It's crazy. T8 hardware all the way around. Deep carry clip that is reversible, not inset, but it does have flat screws, and, you know, being reversible, it's great because this is a very ambidextrous knife. But because of the blade shape, because of the grind and the shape, this thing is like just an incredible user all the way around. This is something that's fidget friendly. It has a nice sound. It has basically everything somebody would want in a pocket knife, you know, as far as cutting performance, ergonomics, the materials, like I said, the rapid action, just an awesome knife, and the affordability is crazy. Next, we have a solid carbon fiber handle. Look at that beautiful carbon fiber. This is the Hairtail, and if you look, like I personally love this carbon fiber. I think this is beautiful. This cut section, I'm not sure what they call this cut of carbon fiber, but it is absolutely real solid carbon fiber, steel liner lock. We have a steel non-deep carry clip, which is just fine to me. And we have the liners are somewhat of like a grayed out color. I'm not sure if that's a coating or not. And then we have flipping action, which is really, really well done. Flipping action. The blade steel is K110. K110 is D2. It's basically a D2, which, you know, for the price and everything, you know, D2 is a good steel. It holds a really good edge. The one thing you have to worry about is the corrosion resistance, and companies seem to be doing a better and better job with it. They seem like they're getting it a little bit more down pat now that they've been doing it for so long. Obviously, production D2 is nothing like a custom D2, but it is still a good steel for affordability, because you're going to have a steel that's going to hold its edge better than most budget steels, usually, especially if it's done by, you know, a company that's doing it well. Beautiful clip point blade, in this tip, you know, being straightforward from the pivot. You know, a straight line from the pivot. It's going to be easy to get to utility cuts. It's going to have a lot of leverage and slicing. The ergonomics around this carbon fiber handle is just amazing. And seeing as that clip is not a deep carry clip, it's also very comfortable in the hand. You know, when your hands are wrapped around it, it fits right, man. You don't feel it at all. I wouldn't even think this thing had a clip. But when you slip it in and out of the pocket, you never have to worry about like pinching it onto the seam of your pocket. You can easily grip it, pull it out of the pocket, get it into action, and yeah, good access to a lock bar. It has a nice, it has a very tight feeling to it, and I mean this in the best possible way, while being glassy smooth. The action, there's something nice about this action, but it feels a lot more higher end than you would think, or than the price would suggest. Next is another solid carbon fiber knife from Petrified Fish. This one is the Warrior, and it has a little stuff on it. So we have the Warrior, and again, solid carbon fiber scales. This one does have steel liners, and they are inset, but this is real carbon fiber all the way around. I love how it's contoured. You can just tell real carbon fiber from fake carbon fiber. Beautiful, I almost want to call it a harpoon, but we're just going to call it a clip point. K110 steel, once again, deep carry clip that is not reversible. It is inset, but it does not have flat screws, but it does work well. Good, decent access to the lock bar. I'm not going to say it's great, but it's fine. The action is stupid good, though. The flipper tab is very comfortable, very snappy, and because it's such a light little blade, like, Rapid deployment on this one. Like, even just trying to fail at it as rapid deployment. This is a 3.5 finger knife, but I can crowd 4 fingers on there. This is a nice, lightweight, very simple knife for, you know, somebody just looking for a decent quality knife with good materials and, you know, maybe wants something, you know, something to be proud of without spending too much money. Awesome little knife. And then we have one more of these guys. And this one is potentially my favorite of the Petrified fish knives. This one is the BADW. I don't know. The bad something. I don't know. I'm not even positive that's the real name. But let me explain why I love this. One, the G10 carbon fiber mix, you would never, if you were blind, you could never tell that this was here. This is real carbon fiber, but they must have mixed it together. Obviously they mixed it together. I mean, they machined it together because this is seamless. Like, there's no seam whatsoever. It almost just seems like it grows out of the G10, which is not something you see on budget knives typically. This takes, you know, a little bit more effort. The plunge grind is really, really well done on this drop point blade. The slightly contoured handle is extremely comfortable. And you have a nice choke up spot right there. Good access to that lock bar. Stupid, ridiculously smooth. Phenomenal D10. I gotta say, Petrified Fish kills it with their D10s, man. This is a phenomenal D10. Deep carry clip inset, not with flat screws, and it's not reversible. I do wish that it had flat screws. That would just be like the topping, you know, but I'll say this, the clip works just fine. And with these ergos and the blade shape and just design, this is a user, man, with a little bit of style. Like I said, just looking at it, if you didn't know the Petrified Fish logo, and maybe if it didn't have a budget clip, if I threw a titanium mill pocket clip on here, you would think that this was a premium knife. Well, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people would. I know I've even seen, when I first seen this knife, I was wondering, because I thought this was titanium. Seeing it like on, you know, just a picture, man, absolutely amazing action. That's incredible. You know, budget knives, man, we are in a great time to be into knives. Budget knives are absolutely killing it right now. And you do not ever have to spend more than $100 to get really good quality, good materials, great everything. Obviously, sometimes it is cool to go in, you know, a little bit over 100, you know, maybe up to 150, and you can still get, I mean, you'll be getting amazing materials, quality, and value. And then obviously if you go even higher than that, you're gonna be doing real good. But there you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Till next time, peace.